Bonsoir and good everybody. We are live from the magnificent Stade de France, a cathedral of European rugby, where the electrifying Le Bleu host the ever dangerous Wallabies. And tonight's atmosphere at the stadium is crackling. The French faithful are roaring, and the tricolour flags are everywhere, and Australian fans are absolutely up for this one as well. Both teams this evening have a point to prove, and France definitely want to re-establish their dominance on home soil. Australia under some definite scrutiny this year, and they're desperate to show that they can mix it up with the top sides once again. This is going to be fast, it's going to be physical, and it's going to be absolutely full of drama. So, folks, buckle up. France versus the Wallabies is always a show. Now, I hope that all of you managed to catch some of that Springboks versus Ireland game, because as you can see, me, a Bok fan myself, wow, that was fantastic. Just a show of dominance and scrummaging from the Springboks there, and the Irish, well, they just couldn't do it in what was dubbed to be the biggest test of the year so far. So, well done to the Boks. But anyway, we're going to shift our focus onto France versus Australia tonight. So head to head, France and Australia have played over 50 test matches, with Australia traditionally having the upper hand for many, many years. But France has seriously closed that gap, particularly in the last decade. I mean, any rugby fans that have watched any rugby for the last 10 years, you would have seen that France have been a fairly dominant team, a good team, and particularly against Australia, having won their fixture last season. The recent trend is that obviously France have won most of their recent meetings, including a series victory in France. Um, but now Australia are going to be facing a highly structured, physical French side. The last time Australia won a game in France was in July, well, won against France rather, was in July 2021 in a tight encounter, winning that game 23 points to 21. But tonight, France are at home, having a huge advantage, especially at the Stade de France, where the French hardly ever lose unless we were to get the Springboks, because we are the best team in the world. For Australia, though, they're going to arrive with a point to prove after a somewhat inconsistent form. They're trying to rebuild and re-establish a belief that they had at the beginning of the Rugby Championship, if you can harken back to that first game where they managed to beat the Springboks 38 points to 22. But since then, they have been inconsistent, losing games here, winning games there. But this match, it carries a real identity battle for Australia. Can they regain some consistency? Can they get some form back? And whereas for France, it carries more of a status confirmation for them. Can they confirm themselves to actually be one of the best four teams in the world, which they have dropped out of in recent times? As I've been saying, Australia in 2025, they've been unpredictable. And, well, I mean, with a mix of narrow losses and some hard fought wins, they just haven't sustained any type of consistency. Their defensive lapses have cost them, especially against tactical sides. Their attack, although it can sparkle, but it's only if they're really able to secure clean ball, which is, of course, what they're going to be trying to do tonight. The motivators for Australia tonight, they're under pressure from fans and from media. As we know, Australian media can be quite hectic, quite intense, and that scrutiny is definitely going to motivate them to get a one-up over France tonight. Above that, the coaching staff is trying to rebuild a new identity for Australia with a fast tempo, expansive rugby, but balanced with structure. Losing today could deepen doubts for Australia, but winning really could be a turning point for them, especially looking towards a home World Cup in 2027. The concerns that the Wallabies are going to bring into this match are scrum pressure, of course. France's scrum is world class, and this is quite a danger zone for Australia. They're very physical, they're big, and they win a lot of penalties off their scrums. Australia's discipline, they can tend to, well, they do tend to concede some soft penalties, and that can be absolutely fatal against a French team with kicking weapons. I mean, for tonight, France have got starting Roman Tamak, they've got Maxime Luku as well. I mean, of course, he's not Antoine Dupont, but Luku is a class player. Of course, Damien Penaud, Thomas Ramos, Louis Biarré, they are fantastic players. And, well, if they're conceding soft penalties against players like that, those kicking weapons can really be a problem for Australia. Under the aerial contest, recent matches have exposed the Wallabies under the high ball, struggling to win the kicks that they're kicking forward and struggling to win possession back uh, from teams that kick towards them. That is going to be an area of concern, and I think something that the French are going to be targeting this evening. So how is France going to try and win this game? Well, firstly, they have a very structured power game. France's forwards will definitely aim to dominate the contact and the scrum. They're going to use heavy carries to drain the Wallabies' defensive stamina. Tired legs means a lot of, you know, floodgates can open as the game goes on. Also, they're going to look for tactical kicking in territory. As I said, the Wallabies are struggling under the high ball. So we can expect strategic kicks from France, especially from their 9, Maxim Luku, and 10, Roman Tamak. I mean, also, Thomas Ramos and Damien Pinot, they're known to be very good with those kicks and challenge for them as well. Contestable bombs, touch finders, and 50-22 attempts. I think we'll see quite a few of those from France tonight. And with Ramos at full back, he reads the backfield exceptionally well. The French as well, they've been quite good with their quick ruck speed and strike plays. And once the pack wins momentum, their backline can launch wide plays very well. They've done that quite extraordinarily, similar to how the All Blacks play their rugby. So I think we need to watch for the centres for France tonight. That's being Galficou and Nicolas de Pourtere. Watch them for working off strong crash ball platforms and seeing how they can expose any Wallaby backline defence issues. So, I mean, how are France? Are they going to suffocate Australia? I think so. They're going to look to dominate those scrums. They're going to get territory control, and they're going to force Australia to play from deep. On the flip side, however, how do we think Australia are going to try and win this game? Firstly, high-tempo ball movement. The Wallabies can't really win an arm wrestle in a game of physicality against France using the forwards and the forward battle. So instead, I think the Wallabies are going to be looking to play fast, using offloads and using width very early. If they can get a couple of early tries in, some points on the board early, with high-tempo ball movement, I think the Wallabies are really a shoo-in to win this game. They've got to attack the edges, though, as well. French wingers can sometimes jam defensively, and space might be open if they get their timing right and can do it well, just exactly as they did against the Springboks there at Ellis Park. Smart kicking, of course, is going to be very important. They'll need to get good exit kicks under pressure. We saw that tonight in Ireland very well. If the Wallabies can copy that, it will be very good. And their tactical kicking needs to be accurate to prevent France from dictating the pace of play. I don't think we'll see many high ball attempts from Australia, given that France are quite dominant with their challenges there and that Australia have been caught lacking. So how are Australia then going to disrupt the French ruck speed? And well, let me know in the comments how you think it's going to happen. But personally, I think we're going to have to aggressively counter-ruck, chop the tackles, and make sure that there's heavy backwork involvement from the Australians. Players to watch for this game. I mean, France, they've got Maxime Lupu, they've got Roman Tamak. Pretty much, Gregory Aldrit as well at number 8. He is fantastic. He's the heartbeat of the French forward pack. A dominant carrier, a tireless defender, and he is brutal in contact. Notably, we cannot forget about the likes of Damien Pinot, Thomas Ramos, Roman Tamak, Louis Biarre, nominated for Player of the Year by World Rugby. Fantastic attacking ability there from the French backline. Then paired together with the forward pack dominance and strength that they have, I think we're going to see some interesting attacking rugby from France tonight. Whereas on the Australian side of things, who can we look at? I think Harry Potter, the magician himself, he can bring some attacking flair together with Max Jorgensen. But I think we're going to have to keep focused on the loose trio. Tom Hooper, Fraser McWright, and Harry Wilson. They are going to have a crucial role at breaking up France's ruck speed, winning over balls, and getting penalties if France are going to have any chance of, if Australia are going to have any chance of winning this game. So the keys to victory for Australia, they've got to stay disciplined. They've got to have a fast tempo and avoid any type of slow ruck. They've got to execute their kicks under pressure, and they've got to take every single scoring chance that they have. Whereas for France, they've got to look to win that scrum battle, look for some tactical kicking dominance, control that breakdown tempo, and minimize any turnovers and let Australia make the mistakes. You see, Australia, they can really hurt themselves by having silly penalties conceded and the like. So, yeah, Well, France is going to look for their forward dominance as they always do. All right, folks. Well, the Stade de France is absolutely buzzing, and we are almost ready for kickoff. Players are finished with their national anthems. They're lining up, getting ready for the kickoff. Australia, obviously, in their gold jersey, France in their navy, and the noise in the stadium, I'm sure, is immense. That is such a lovely stadium. Stade de France. Wow, it is. It is such a great. It's also awesome because we have lots of two World Cups there. But anyway, this is not about the books. This is about Australia and France. National anthems are done. So, folks, are France going to continue their home success? Australia going to deliver a statement performance tonight? Let me know in the chat. Who are you backing? Who do you think is going to win? What is the scoreline going to be? And I think this is going to be a blockbuster affair. Oh, and it's a cold night in Paris. I think it's like a maximum of 4 or 5 degrees Celsius or something. That is ridiculous. Australians are going to struggle with that, definitely. The land down under is quite a hot place, as we know. We're ready for kickoff. And France, get us going underway. Kicking from left to right to the Australians, collected by Fraser McWright in the Australian 22. France already there at the breakdown. Oh, and there's a breakthrough from Australia in the centres there, finding a bit of space there. And Australia make their way to the halfway line. Great work from them. And Australia have a penalty. France being caught offside already. Only 30 seconds played, and Australia get their first penalty off the game. Tane Edmed with ball in hand, the Australian fly half. He's going to look for touch here. No, Tane Edmed gets the ball ready for a deep kick into the French half, which he successfully manages to do, kicks it into the French 22. And Australia, without a minute being played, already have an attacking line out in the French 22. That was a fantastic break there in the centre field. It was from the Australian prop Angus Bell breaking the line, making some good meters, and then getting a penalty for Australia. Line out taken. Australia winning the line out. Getting it to the back line now. Max Jorgensen on the ball, looking to find a way through, which he does. He breaks through the line, gets some gain forward there. Australia still have the ball in the 22 now. Australia keep going. It's a bit of crash ball for them. Lualoleseo taking the ball into contact. Picked up immediately by Taniela Tupo. Picked up, and Australia keep going. 7 meters up from the try line they are now. Running quickly there. Dylan Peach. Australia 2 meters out now. Got to have a quick start here, Australia, if they want to stand a chance of winning this game. And they are so, so close. 2 meters out. Have they put the ball down? Have they managed to score? No, just short. Just short, Australia. The forwards keep going. And they're over the line. It hasn't gone. No, try. They're over. Australia get the opening try of this rugby match. Fantastic start from Australia after the ninth phase. The forwards kept going. And who is that has scored? It is Matt Faisler. He gets the opening try of the match for Australia. 5-0 up, and 3 minutes have not yet been played. Brilliant work from the Australians. That is exactly the start to a test match that you would want. Australia off to a flyer. Ball being passed from one side of the pitch to the other. Line breaks are being made. Australia have the upper hand here. Brilliant start from them. Tane Edmed looking to convert now. He has missed it to the left. So he will not convert the opening try. Should have really. It wasn't the most difficult kick in the world. It wasn't easy either. Not quite on the touchline. He was about, say, 7 meters in from the touchline, but you'd expect him to nail that, but he doesn't. Anyway, the French Restart the game. Australia connect just outside their 22. Australia maintaining possession. And it's a bit of crash ball. Oh, but France have managed to turn that ball over and get a penalty. Australia holding on to the ball. Maxime Luku holding it now, deciding what to do. The French just slowing things down, considering their options. Are they going to kick for poles or are they going to be the attack, take the attacking approach? And are they kicking for touch? Aggressive approach from France into the Australian 22. From 12 meters out, the French will have an attacking line out now. Just as Australia have scored a try, attacking line out, can the French immediately bite back and do the same? Line out to be taken by Watchalong. And the maul is set. France getting some good go forward on the maul there, but it is collapsed by Australia. The referee determines to be a legal collapse. Luku picking up the ball. Sent to Jacques Baptiste Gross, who gets some good go forward there. France on the 5 meter line. Can they turn this into points? Luku passing to Tamak. Roman Tamak not going anywhere. It's taken down in contact. Again, the French take the ball into contact once more. 10 meters out of France. And there's a rush defense from Australia here, driving the French back. Almost outside the 22 of France now. Fantastic defense from Australia. Oh, but there's a big pickup there from Regis Montan. Luku feeds the ball now. France getting some good go forward. Back to the 5 meter line they are. France still going. Taking the ball into contact. 5 meters out there, France. Luku passing the ball. Thibaut Flamand with the ball now. Australia looking for a turnover, and they achieve it. They succeed in the turnover. Brilliant from Australia. France holding on to the ball. Australia gets the turnover penalty. Brilliant work from them. Awesome defense from the Australians. Let me know in the chat, everybody, where are you watching from? The kick is saying Edmund. Very good kick, all the way out to the 4 meter line. Let me know, folks, where are you watching from tonight? Where in the world are you? Where are you joining us from? What is your score prediction for tonight? Who do you think is going to win? Even though Australia are 5-0 up at the moment, I do think France are going to win this game by a comfortable 10 to 12 points. Let me know in the chat. Do you disagree? Why do you disagree? Or do you agree and why? Let me know. There's a lot of rugby to be played still. Australia 5-0 up, 6.5 minutes have been played. Just want to give you guys a bit of sight there of our data stream. Australia winning their line out, and the back line have the ball now, looking to attack. Oh, but it's a bit of a loose pass, and Australia have lost possession. They've knocked it on, and France now have the ball. Looking to secure it in the ruck, which they do. Luku passing it through to the back line now. France outside centre. Deporteur taken down by Fraser McWright. France taking the ball into contact once again. Gelfiku now into contact. And Australia have turned it over again. This time France have knocked the ball on. And Australia get possession. Well, it's been a sloppy game of rugby so far from both teams. But here come the Wallabies. Will do, taking it into contact. The ball is out, but it's quick hands now. Australia really are going to look to play quick ball here. France definitely want to try slow this down, but Australia can be dangerous with quick rugby. Australia still have possession. Oh, it's a little kick through, and it's an unfortunate bounce there from Australia as France pick up the ball, picked up by number 7, Charles Olivon. And France now get possession back. They're on their halfway line. Biarre breaks through. He's found a gap, and he's by himself. No, he passes it inside, and it's going to be a try for Nicolas Deporté. France are on the board now. It is 5-all, 8 minutes played. Great attacking player. That was made by Louis Biarre. Although Nicolas Deporté is going to get the applause for the try being scored, was all the work of Ray, managing to get the ball on the halfway line, stepping through players, opening up a gap there, and drawing the last defender, putting through Deporte for the easiest try he will score in his life. 5 all. Let's have a look at the chat here. We've got Max C 302 saying Australian defense. Oh, yeah, not looking good. Upu looking big as well. Oh, absolutely. He is an absolute unit. Well, anyway, the version has been taken and succeedingly, France now 7 points to 5 in the lead ahead of Australia. That was pretty poor defense. Like Jorgensen got turned inside out there. And his own man ran into him. Biarre. Brilliant work to draw that last defender as well. Deporte to go over the try line. France lead by 2. 10 minutes played. Restart taken deep into the French 22. Picked up by Luku, who kicks it deep now. Picked up by who is that? Akusu Swahili. Excuse me, some of these names are a bit difficult to pronounce, but I'll get there. Kick back, and then France get the ball and kick it back now. Dylan Peach with the ball. Back to Max Jorgensen, who kicks it deep into France territory now. Picked up by Damien Penaud in his own 22, puts it onto the boot again. This time a touch, but doesn't find it. Picked up by Max Jorgensen, who's going to put the ball high and chase it. Looking for that. Oh, but of course it is Roman Tamak who gets it. But there is a penalty for Australia. A bit of obstruction from the French players, obstructing the Australian challenger from getting that ball. Australia now have a penalty, and it is at a very kickable distance as well. Are they going to try go for 3 points here and regain the lead, or get a bit of a territory kick and look for another try from a line out? Tane Edmed with ball in hand. What's he going to choose to do? No, he's going to kick for touch. Australia being aggressive, looking for the try, not for the 3 points that are available and very kickable. Kicks it deep into the France 22. It was Gregory who ran the block there. He did it purely unintentionally, but still got perfectly in the way of the challenging Max Jorgensen, who was unable to do so and managed to get the ball. So Australia will now get a line out with 7 meters out. And they've lost that, and the ref has blown his whistle. No change from number 7, meaning that Australia lose possession and France now have a free kick. Free kick taken deep, picked up by Dylan Peach, pass to Jorgensen, who takes it into contact and driven back into his own half now. Australia with a bit of crash ball. Tupo, yeah, as we said in the chat, looking very big. Oh, and there's a breakthrough from the Australian lock forward there. He's found the line, running, galloping like a giraffe, and it's been knocked on in the contact. Oh, that is most unfortunate for the Australians. He broke the lock. It was Nick Frost who managed to find his way through the tiniest French gap in the defence there. Oh, it was so good. No, forgive me, it was Harry Wilson who found that gap. And Nick Froston collected the ball and knocked it on in contact. Oh, it was a huge opportunity there for Australia. Nick Frost looking up at where the nearest defender was, and most unfortunately knocking the ball on into contact. It will be a French scrum inside their own 22. Scrum being set up. If you guys managed to watch the Australia versus not the South Africa versus Ireland game earlier, we saw in the second half there was scrum after scrum after scrum with some South African dominance there. Let's see if the French can manage to replicate that, as I'm sure they will be trying to do, looking for some scrum dominance there. But Australia holds strong. France keep possession. Luku gets the ball out the back and kicks it deep. Kept in play by Max Jorgensen. Puts it on his own boot to be chased now by Dylan Peach, who challenges in the air and gets. Oh no, he's lost our possession there to Damian Peno. No, Roman Tamak, forgive me. Gets possession, and France managed to keep possession. Crash ball there inside their own half, just outside their own 22. It looks like Jean-Baptiste Gross is down with injury as well. He is taking a long time to get back up. France keep the ball up high, challenged. And Pernod challenges, but Australia managed to get the ball back and running into the French half now. Getting a little bit of territory gain. The Australia on the ball now, bit of fancy passing, and they keep going forward. Australia keeping possession. Superb work from the Australians. Good attacking go play there. Go forward there. Interesting moves in the backline from Australia. They're getting some good go forward now. Harry Potter on the ball. Takes it into contact. Tupou into contact now. Good crash ball from him, gaining a meter or two into that contact. Harry Wilson now taking the ball. He's tackled there very well by Gael Ficou. Fraser McRipe through to Angus Bell. And Australia have a penalty advantage. I think France have been caught offside again. They have indeed, and Australia have another penalty. Jorgensen looking maybe to take a quick ref, stopping him from doing so. One of the French players is being looked at by the medical staff. He's going to go out for an HIA. It is Charles Olivon, who had a big, he went into some big contact there in a clean out and is now suffering a little bit. Has not looked really good since that contact and is going to go off for an HIA and is now being replaced by Oscar Jegu, who will come onto the field a lot earlier than I'm sure he was expecting to be on. So, folks, let me know in the chat, who is going to win this game? What is the scoreline going to be? Let me know. What are you drinking tonight? Where are you watching from? Where in the world? We've got a global audience here at Forever Sports. Let me know where you're watching from, who's going to win this game. And Australia have a penalty now. It looks like Kane Edmed is going to put the ball on his boot and kick for poles. Looking for 3 points. He's 40 meters out, right in front of the poles. He should be able to get this over. Bread and butter for any fly half that is worth it. Can he convert? Kicks it. Oh no, and he's missed it to the right. That is awful. That is a terrible kick, Edmund. He's missed 2 kicks now. Look, the first one wasn't the easiest kick. The second one, though, should have definitely gone over, and he's missed it and missed Australia's opportunity to take the lead again in this game. Max Jorgensen gets the ball now. Off the restart from France. Brilliantly collected from Roman Tamak at the back there. And France looking for some go forward, running it forward now towards the halfway line. Goes almost Ramos. Great clean out from Australia, but France managed to keep possession. Found a little gap there, did Aldrit, and he goes forward, keeping possession to France now, well into the Australian half. And the ref has blown his whistle as Australia did knock the ball on a few phases prior to that. And they'll go back for the scrum in France's favour. Let's have a look at the comments here. We've got Max saying, Australia, the most frustrating team in World Rugby. They're so talented, they just can't put it together. And you're watching from Ireland as a Bokke fan. Okay, Max, so good to have you with us, man. Being in Ireland as a Bokke fan, watch out, be careful. There's going to be some very angry Irishmen looking out for Bokke fans tonight. But what a win it was for the Boks. Wow. Best side in the world for a reason. Australia coming off a pretty heavy defeat to Ireland last week, losing that game 46 points to 19. Really want to right some wrongs in this game and have gotten off to a fairly decent start, scoring the first try, but their defense not looking good. The scrum was set and not bounded correctly by French, and Australia will have a free kick. Australia really have started this test off very well. Looking at the chat, we've got Casper Kutsia saying France all the way. How much do you think France are going to win by tonight? Anyway, so the free kick has gone high, and France have knocked it on, and Australia will now have a scrum with some good territorial gain. Brilliant work from the Australians. I think the French were looking today to be dominant at the scrum, and well, Australia really have held their own so far in the few scrums that have happened tonight. And Australia now do have an attacking scrum, about 30 from the try line. Scrum being set. Jake Gordon going to feed the scrum. Keeps possession. Jake Gordon passing it through. Dylan Peach now looking for a gap, which he finds. He's going into the France 22 and he's brought down about 15 meters out from the line. Great work from Dylan Peach. Harry Wilson now into contact. Oh, but France have turned it over brilliantly. And it's a good kick there from the number 9, Maxime Luku, kicking that ball back into the Australian half. Just gone over the halfway line. Oh, Australia. Who was it? Max saying they're so talented, but they just can't put it together. Such a frustrating team. Too right you are, because wow, they just had such a good attacking opportunity there, but really just lost it. Turnover ball, super easy for France, and kicking it all the way back with a nice territory gain. Australia to take the line out, and they've won it. France of the rush defense here, working very well for them. And Australia have a penalty advantage, tackling the man off the ball with France, and is taken quickly now by the number 9, who's made some really good go forward. Fraser McWright now with the ball, taking it into contact. Oh my goodness, it's the prop forward. Angus Bell has just broken the line, found a gap, run 30 meters and scored a try. He's over the line. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. Can you believe it? The prop forward breaking the line, finding a gap, and bounding 30 meters to score a try for Australia. I don't think I've ever seen that from him before, folks. That is amazing. Wow. Oh my word, France defense, what happened there? So Fraser McWright got the ball. He takes it into contact. He pops it up to Angus Bell. Bell evades not one but 2 tackles. Then all of a sudden, there's no one in front of him, sprinting as fast as he can, the big man, 30 meters worth, and scores a try. That is sensational. Oh my word. Oh, watching a prop forward run and score a try like that, that is beautiful. My goodness, well done. And the conversion has been scored. It is 12-7 now to Australia. This game was definitely going against the run of play so far. Roman Tamak getting some medical attention here. Just a bit of bandaging around the head. Must have copped a blow. But anyway, he's back to restart the game. 22 minutes played. Australia lead France. 12 points to 7. Really attacking with real good intent are the Australians. Wow. They collect the kickoff and they get some go forward now. Taking the ball into contact is Harry Wilson. Australia doing very nicely to keep possession here. Looking very comfortable in attack as well. Looking to set up the up and unders, Jake Gordon, which he does. Being challenged now by number 14, Harry Potter, who does not succeed against the likes of Louis Bielbiaré. France now have possession inside their own half, passing the ball quickly, but Australia's rush defense gets them. Very good defense from Australia. Now Roman Tamak on the boot, kicking it deep. Picked up by Dylan Peach, who puts it on his boot, up and under, chases his own kick, but there's no one there, and he makes the tackle as well from possession. But the offload is made, and now it's another boot kick there from Roman Tamak. Very good kick. Some lovely territory gain there from Roman Tamak, making sure that France get a good territory gain, kicking the ball, rolling out just outside of their own 22. I think he may have been looking for the 50-22 there, but the ball bubbling out just outside the 22. It will be an Australia line out. Casper reckons France are going to win this game by 21 points. Well, they've got a lot of work to do now if they want to do that. But you know what, France, I still think they're going to go on and win this game. But Australia have had a fantastic start here. Truly electric from the men in yellow today. And Australia lose their line out. France get to go forward now. Luku looking for a quick ball as the ball's taken into contact. Another ruck is formed. Inside the 22 now. France attack and score another try. Roman Tamak dancing feet, but he's brought down. Masu Ali. Jean-Baptiste Gros now takes it into contact. France still maintaining possession in the 22. Can they turn this kind of pressure into points? Taken now, Regis Monton into contact. Luku looking for quick ball. France really prioritizing quick ball out of the ruck here, trying to catch Australia napping, but Australia's defense is standing tall. Now though, breaking through a little bit of a gap is Thibaut Flamand. And the quick ball now, Australia are looking, and it's over the line goes Damien Penaud. No, Thomas Ramos, excuse me. Thomas Ramos scoring France's second try of the evening. It is even in scores. It was a big overlap. That's the benefit that ruck ball brings. If you can get that ball out the ruck super quickly, pass it through the back line, hands really nice and quickly, you can find yourself having an overlap, which is exactly what France had there. The quick ruck, Luku through to... Oh, it's just good work from France, that. Very, very good work. Yeah, Luku picks the ball up. He gets it through to Roman Tamak. Skip past there to Thomas Ramos. There's no one in front of him. Easy try. Just dancing over the line and trying to get as close to the poles as possible to make the conversion easy for Tamak. 12 all now. 25 and a half minutes played. Looks like Thomas Ramos is going to take the kick, which of course he always does for France. Conversion has been missed. Thomas Ramos with a rare miss on the conversion. Everybody, I'd just like to make a note that we have reached 100,000 subscribers here at Forever Sports. Everybody who has subscribed, thank you so much for joining us on this journey, and let's keep going from strength to strength. We have 100,000 subscribers, guys. That is awesome work. Thank you so much. The restart has been taken, and France in their own 22 get the ball. France kick the ball deep now, and Australia now have possession, and Australia have a penalty advantage, and the ref blows his whistle. Australia with the penalty. They keep coming back. It's to and fro here. The pendulum keeps swinging. In one way, it's France's direction. The other way, it's Australia's direction. Right now, Australia have the upper hand with a penalty inside of the French half. Gregory Aldritz is just getting spoken to go tell his team to keep their discipline under wraps. Quite a few penalties now conceded by France. Tane Edmed is going to be looking to kick for touch and have an attacking line out inside the France 22. Successfully kicks the ball out. Line out to be taken now. Matt Faisler to put the ball in. And Australia shuffle it to the back line now. Getting some good go forward there. Great momentum into the contact. Gets another 5 meters for Australia. They're on the 5 meter line. Great attacking pressure being caused by Australia here. Quick ruck ball now. Ikitao taking the ball into contact. And France managed to turn the ball over with a penalty. Australia have been penalized. As they were coming to clean, it looks like it was Tupou that was cleaning out from the side. And that is just bad discipline. With Australia having fantastic go forward, really, really good pressure being released on France. And you know what? They were looking likely to go on and score a try. Then Tupou does something what is quite stupid, really, cleaning out from the side and costing his team a penalty. It's so silly. It's so, so silly. And the lineout is taken by France and Australia, bringing the lineout down too early, conceding yet another penalty. Yo, the discipline in this game has not been good. Penalty after penalty, each team conceding quite a few of them. Damak going to kick for touch here, and he successfully manages to do so. He gets the ball into the Australian half on about the 40-meter line there. 29 and a half minutes played. It is a French line out just inside their own half. Flamand with a dummy jump, but France managed to keep possession in the line out and is through to the back line and crash ball. Quick ruck ball now from Luku through to Aldrit. Australia's rush defense working quite well for them, but now France have found a way through. BLBRA puts the ball on his boot, and oh my word, it's fantastic. BLBRA is going to go over for a try. That might be the best try of the weekend from all the games. That is fantastic. He found himself in space, put the ball on his boot, up and under, collected himself, then steps the final defender and scores. That was a try made in heaven from Louis BLBRA. It was beautiful. It was fantastic. It was champagne rugby from the French. I thought that the Australian rush defense was working, but then quick hands from the French and BLBRA finding himself in space with that little kick over, stepping that last defender. That was beautiful. Awesome try from BLBRA. France taking the lead again, 17 points to 12. Top draw stuff from Louis BLBRA. And this should be a pretty straightforward conversion for Thomas Ramos. "19 points to 12. France lead. Australia, 31 minutes played." That was such a good try. Wow. Brilliant from Louis BLBRA. The restart has been taken deep into the French 22. Luku's looking to just kick that out as deep as he can, which he successfully does into touch. Just getting a bit of pressure off France there. Australia will have a line out now. About 35 meters out, actually on the 40-meter line here. Line out taken. And Australia keep possession, not setting up a maul, rather shuffling it back to the back line. Australia's backline play has been impressive today. They've been really good on their attacking go forward. And the ball has been knocked back. France getting possession, but the ref has blown his whistle. And it seems... I just want to see what's happening here because the ref has blown his whistle. It was knocked on by France. And then knocked on again by Australia. So there will be a scrum for Australia now. Oh, in fact, the knock-on was a deliberate knock-on. And it is a penalty for Australia. Fantastic stuff for Australia. Are they going to look to kick for touch and bring it to 19 all? Yatain Edmed does kick for touch, and he's kicked it to about 15 meters out from the try line. Australia are going to look to attack here and score again to bring the scores level, needing 7 points to do so. Line out taken successfully by Australia. Again, not choosing to do a maul. They're putting it through to the back line. Taken by number 12, Len Ikitau. 10 meters out of Australia now. Hitting the ball really hard was Ikitau there. Quick hands from Australia now. 5 meters out. Dylan Peach into contact. Australians' hands have been really quick. Good pop passes, good passes as well with the pace that they're playing at, and they're still 10 meters out to Australia now. Bit of crash ball for the forwards, keeping possession. Good challenge from France, but Australia keep possession. Still 10 meters out are the Australians. And now Australia have a penalty advantage. France putting their hands in the ruck unlawfully. France managed to steal the ball, but it is a penalty advantage for Australia, and it will be a yellow card awarded to Maxime Lucu of France for having his hands in the ruck unlawfully. There have been enough infringements for the ref to say, you know what, this is too much. I'm going to send you off. And France are down to 14 men for the remainder of the first half and what will be the first 5 minutes of the second half. Australia kicking the ball to touch with a line out 5 meters from the try line. "15-man Australia against the 14 men of France now, with that yellow card being shown to France. And now Australia, France, stop it quite well. Australia keep trying to push, getting some backline players involved, and they're getting a little bit of go forward now. France about Australia 2 meters out from the try line. And over the line goes Faisler. It was a successful maul from Australia, and they have scored. They are now only trailing by 2 points. A very good maul setup from Australia. Faisler crashing over the try line to score for the Aussies. It is 19 points to 17. 4 minutes to go to half time. Yellow card looking to be costly already for France. Not only just giving that penalty away, now that penalty resulted in a yellow card and a try has been scored. A bit of double jeopardy here for the French. This is a very difficult kick now for Tain Edmed. If he can convert this, it would be brilliant. But I don't think he hasn't got his kicking boots on yet tonight. This time, although Edmed from the touchline has nailed it, and it is 19 all. Australia never say die. They are here to play, and they don't want to just be here to compete. They want to win this game. 3 minutes to go until half time. It's 19 all. Great game of rugby. Kickoff taken now, deep into the Australian 22. France challenging, but Australia keep possession. Looking to run hands now from deep within their own half, or flirting with danger are the Australians. They're not looking to kick and get some territory advantage here. They're looking to play it out from the back. They want to take the long road here. Crash inside their own 22. The Australians continue to keep possession. Got to give credit to the Australians here. They've found those holes, they've created holes, and they've done well. Okay, now the Australian scrum kicks the ball out on the floor from inside his own 22. Doesn't get a lot of distance, but does alleviate a little bit of the pressure off of the Australians. Jake Gordon, a line out on the 40-meter line for France inside the Australian half now. Luku watching on from the bench. Ref just pausing the game here for a second just to talk to some of the French players, saying don't encroach on the line for the line out. And the line out is now going to be taken by France. And that is taken successfully, unchallenged by Australia, and France set up the maul. Maul going absolutely nowhere, so France now shifted to the backline. Gael Fiku into contact. And the tackle is made. And Australia managed to get the ball back now. It is turned over by none other than Tom Hooper for Australia. Great work from him. And Australia now get possession. Great turnover from them. Wallabies back row really, really working hard. Like I said before the game, that loose trio is going to have to work really, really hard in contact and at ruck time in order to get those turnovers, which is exactly what they have done here. Brilliant work from the Australians. Let's look at the chat. Paul Carpenter watching from Shanghai as a Bok fan. Welcome, Paul. Good to have you with us. And I hope you're celebrating the Bok win appropriately. 10 seconds to go. Until the clock goes into the red. Australia are now putting a scrum in, putting a ball into the scrum. And I'm pretty sure if they do win this, they're just going to kick it out and go into half time, all level. No problems. But no, they're not going to do that. They're going to play. They want to score again before half time. And they've got some good go forward. Going now into the French half. Australia keep possession. Quick ruck ball. Fraser McWright into contact. Really keeping the French on their toes here. Australia keeping possession now. Is he looking for a 50-22 now? It's Tayin Edmed. He succeeded. But look, it was a great kick, Tayin Edmed. But the clock was in the red, so it has now gone to half time. He looked for the 50-22, and had it not been past 40 minutes, it would have been a 50-22 to Australia. But I think he just forgot the fact that, the halftime whistle was about to blow if the ball did go out. And the ball did go out, and as a result, it is halftime at 19 all. My immediate thought is half. Australia are here to play. They are doing very, very well. Their attacking go forward is brilliant. Quick hands in the backs, and their structure is looking quite good. France, however, have the upper hand when it comes to just the flair. French flair. It's an amazing thing. We saw it with Louis Bielbiarré's try. Brilliant work from him. And 19 all going into halftime. Can Australia cause a big upset? Still 40 minutes of rugby to play at the Stade de France, everybody. Do not leave. We've got an awesome halftime, or an awesome second half. Enjoy halftime. Refill your drinks, get the snacks ready, and let's enjoy the next 40 minutes when we come back in about 10 minutes from now. I'll see you then. Cheers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second half of France versus Australia, and you will see that I've had a bit of a war change here, supporting our Southern Hemisphere brothers, the Wallabies, Australia. Let's see if these guys can manage to cause a huge upset and beat France away at the Stade de France. Australia have had a very, very effective first half with an attacking, quick ruck ball, great structure, and their defense has been quite good as well, despite a showing of magic from Louis Bielbiaré to score that second try for France. The scores were all tied up at 19 all. And well, Australia doing well to come back and make sure that they could be level at halftime, coming back to score that last try. However, they have left a few points out there. Tane Edmed on the boot has missed at least 5 points there, and will they come to rue those missed chances? I mean, that penalty that he missed, particularly, was quite an easy kick. But let's see how it goes for the rest of the game, the second half being kicked off now, Australia towards France and taken by France in the 22, taken by Thibaut Flamand, and they've set up a maul of France, but it is being drilled back by Australia now. One stop called by the ref, but France continue with their maul, restructuring it, seeing if they can get any go forward with it now, which they do. Australia turn the maul, and France a penalty advantage, and the ref has blown his whistle. France have a penalty immediately after the restart here. Great work from the French. Alan Alala Toa is now on the field. Well, yeah, France starting off with a bang here, getting a penalty immediately after the restart. It was Alan Alala Toa who has been penalized, and France taking their line out from the kick, and they keep possession of the line out. So Matt Faisler with two tries in the first half for Australia, and a brilliant line break from Angus Bell, one of the greatest tries you'll ever see from a prop forward. It was truly spectacular, running 30 meters. Anyway, France now have lost possession, holding on to the ball. Australia get a penalty. Brilliant work there. Was that Fraser McWright over the ball? Of course it was. He is so good at that, at the ruck, getting his hands over, not losing his balance. And as a result, Australia now have a penalty. Going bar for bar, the Australians and the French. Tane Edmed on the boot manages to kick the ball just outside of the French 22, and Australia will now have a line out. Let's have a look at the chat. We've got someone watching from the UK as a Zimbabwean Brit national and a Bok fan. Come on, the Wallabies. Yeah, a bit of Southern Hemisphere support there. Let me know, guys, where are you watching from? What's the scoreline prediction today? And what are you drinking? What are you having? It's a late night game. It's good. I'm on the coffees here. Line out taken, but it is unsuccessful for Australia as they have lost possession to France, not in the traditional way, but because their line-out structure was deemed incorrect from the ref, stepping into France's territory, and now with a skew throw as well, France will have a scrum just on their own 22. There's still, just to be reminded, everyone, France still have a yellow card, a minute and 20 seconds left on that. It was indeed Maxime Luku sticking his hand into the ruck unlawfully when Australia were on the attack, just towards the end of the second half there. Still a minute to go on his yellow card before he can come back into the field of play. The scrum is set, fed by Thomas Ramos, and they'll get a free kick, will France. Rotation of the scrum caused by Australia, giving France a free kick. Good kick from France, getting a bit of territory gain there and a lot of pressure lifted off the shoulders there. It will be an Australian line out just inside their own half. Australia win the line out. And it is big hit there from Len Ikitau into contact. And Australia quick in the ruck, as they have been all game. Now good hands. Max Jorgensen on the ball. The little pop pass in. Do they keep possession? No, Australia have knocked the ball on, and France will now have a scrum. It was exciting backline play. Max Jorgensen doing very well, running nicely after the quick hands, but he just manages to do like a little pop there out the back of the hand. A bit silly. It was a blind pass, and unfortunately, Dylan Peach could not hold on to the ball as the pass was slightly behind him. And as a result, he knocked it on, and France will have a scrum. And as the scrum is about to be set, Maxime Lucu returns to the field of play. He has served his 10-minute ban for the yellow card. I think Australia missed a trick there. They had a lot of players there available that Max Jorgensen could have passed to, who are running at pace, could have made some really good meters there, but instead he decided to the blind little chicken wing pass, and it did not work at all. Unfortunately, knocking it on there was Dylan Peach, and France now have a scrum. Maxime Luku back on the field, feeding the scrum. France doing well. Oh, great go forward in the scrum yard. Do they have the penalty advantage? Yes, they do. Now they have a free play to France, running it through the back line. Quick hands here. Louis Bielbiaré taking the ball into contact. And the ref says that is going nowhere and will come back to a French penalty. For the first time really in this game, we have a sense of the French power in the scrum. Australians held them really, really well in the scrum in the first half, but now France had a scrum inside their own half, and with supreme power, they managed to win that penalty. Dominant scrum from the French. Are we going to see more of this as the half continues? Are the Australian forwards a bit tired? And is the French power now coming through to show a bit of dominance at scrum time? Oh, excuse me. Anyway, so France opting to take the 3 points here. They're not going to kick for touch. Of course, if the game is tight as this, points on the board are crucial. And right in front of the poles, it's about a 43-meter kick here for Thomas Ramos. And he kicks it over. Pretty simple kick for him. 3 points to France, who now lead Australia 22 points to 19. There are 3 points available for France. They did well to take it. And Australia taking the short option on the restart. And it's worked for them as they've regained possession. Or have they? No, France managed to steal it back in contact. But France lost the ball in contact. They went trying to win it back. And it was a knock-on called by the referee. And Australia will now have a scrum. So a successful restart from Australia, managing to win possession. Replay showing now Joseph Swali'i challenging Fiku in the air. There is contact in the air, and he's taken Fiku out. Timo looking at those pictures behind the scenes, and now the Australian scrum has been reversed to a France penalty because of Swali'i taking Fiku out in the air unlawfully, and France will have a penalty instead. Surprised the ref missed that in real time. So France inside the half, just on the 10-meter line, will have a penalty. And yeah, for taking the man out in the air unlawfully. And it will be Roman Dama kicking for touch, which he successfully manages to do. France take the line out successfully. They keep the ball. Bit of broken play here. On the boot goes Louis Bielbiaré. Bounces inside the half, and the ball has gone out of play for an Australian line-out on the 5 meter line. Brilliant kick there from Louis Bielbiaré. He's had an electric game so far, whether he's been running with ball in hand or kicking the ball from just inside his own half as well. If he was like 2 meters back, that would have been a 50-22. However, it is an Australian line-out, and Australia win the line-out. Ball through to the back line, or crash ball actually to the forwards. Looking to just reset here. Maybe find some space to kick the ball deep into touch. Again, crash ball to the forwards. Australia 10 meters out from their own try line, but they have possession. Jake Gordon looking to kick it deep from the box kick, which he does do, and alleviates a little bit of pressure for Australia. It will be a French line out now. About 35 meters out from the try line, France have a line out. Line out taken by France and the possession. Gael Ficou taking the ball into contact. Luku passing it through to the forwards. And again, it's crash ball now for the French forwards. Getting driven back a little bit by the Australians there. And it's a slow ruck here for the French. Australia doing very well to slow the ball down. Now they're trying to swing it through to the back line, but it's a broken line here. And France is Thomas Ramos, but he finds a gap. He's going to Thomas Ramos, and he runs all the way just about 22. He's taken down. Now Louis Biarré continuing with this broken play, but France managed to get about 20-25 meters of extra distance there. And France now have a penalty. Tackler not rolling away. Taken quickly by Maxime Luku. France on the attack. Momentum certainly in their favor. Going quickly now. Quick ruck ball. Luku through to Toby Flamand. 10 meters up from the try line of France. Quick ball for the forwards now. Now Magnan, and they are not 4 meters out from the try line of France. Looking to turn this pressure into points. Can they do it? Maxime Luku looking for the ball, digging for it, begging for the ball to come out. Setting up. Okay, it's backline play now. Deep structure in the backline now. Biarré has the ball. And it's a long pass, and it's through. A try. The second try of the match now from number 13, Nicolas Deporté. France crash over, making it 27 points to 19 in favor of France. Oh, folks, I probably shouldn't have put my Wallabies jersey on. It's caused havoc for Australia now. Since the start of the second half, France have been all over Australia. It was brilliant backline play from the French. And Louis Bielbiaré, once again, just drawing defenders, making the pass at the last possible second, and Nicolas Deporté crashing over. It's the second time that Bielbiaré has been, sacrificing himself in order to draw the defenders and allowing Deporté to crash over for 2 easy tries. Great work from the French. 2 tries for Deporté, but the credits and the flowers must go to Louis Bielbiaré. Thomas Ramos for the conversion, and he's missed it to the left. Does not convert the try, and France lead Australia 27 points to 19 with 53 minutes on the clock. All of this did start, of course, as well from Thomas Ramos finding a break there. It was broken play. Thomas Ramos running along the side or running backwards almost, found a gap in the Australian defence where the forwards were. I think the Australian forwards are getting a bit tired now. Their legs are getting a bit overused, and it's probably time for a few substitutions there in that forward pack. Missing tackles, allowing gaps in the play. Australia taking a short kick to restart, but France keep possession, managing to catch the ball. Slow ruck now for France. It looks like Maxime Luku is going to set up an up and under to be not to be a challenge. No, it's a deep territorial type kick. Australia managed to catch the ball. That is Max Jorgensen for a gap, but he is brought down inside his own half just by the 40-meter line. Then Edmund to the boot now, looking for some territory gain. looking for the 50-22, but not finding it. Damien Penaud is back there to clean up. Puts it onto the boot, and a huge territorial kick there. Brilliant kick, passing it through to Thomas Ramos, who then kicks the ball nicely into the Australian half again. Nice territorial gain for France. Will be an Australian line-out on the 40-meter line inside their own half. Rob Valentini is now on. As I called for it, the forwards needed a few substitutions there. Legs getting a bit tired for the Australian forwards, and Rob Valentini has come onto the field. Australia losing their own line-out, collected by number 2, Julien Marchand for France. And now France getting some good go forward. Meters being made, picked up by Luku and driving, sniping, he keeps going. Then picked up by Gregory Aldred, finding a few more meters. Now quick hands through the back line. Bialbiare now tackled. Oh no, but he's lost the ball in contact. Max Jorgensen now finds a gap, and he's running. It's a foot race to the try line. He puts it on the boot. Can he keep it in play? Max Jorgensen over the line. What a brilliant try for Australia against the run of play. That is campaign. That is brilliant. That is fantastic. I cannot find any more adjectives to describe that. That is beautiful. For the first time in the match, Bialbiare makes a mistake. The ball is ripped from him in contact, and then Max Jorgensen gets a pop pass to him, finds a gap. There's no one in front of him. He's getting caught down, so he puts the ball on his boot. It's a foot race to the line, and Jorgensen gets there first, diving over the ball, scoring a try in the corner for Australia. That could have gone wrong. The ball could have bounced out, but no. Brilliantly timed kick, brilliantly weighted kick, and Max Jorgensen crashes over. Fantastic try for Australia. Wow. Edmed now with the kick. That is a tough one from the sideline. Can he do it? Kicking from the touchline. It's a tough chance. And he's nailed it. The kick to go with the try. 7 points for Australia, who now only trail by 1 point. 27 points to France. 26 points to Australia. 56 minutes played. Folks, we have a game of rugby on our hands. This is good. Very, very good stuff. The restart is taken by France and collected by Australia inside their own 22. I think the ball was taken back though, so he won't be able to kick it out on the full if he wishes to. No, the ball kept in play. He kicks. Oh no, he was taken out, kicked out on the full, so that means the ball must have been collected inside the Australian 22. It will be a French line out just inside their own half. Filippo Dalgunu now coming onto the field. Looks like that is in replacement of Len Ikitau. France winning their own line out there. And crash ball by the forwards just inside their own half of France. Maxim Luku quick now on the ruck. Quick hands now. Bialbiare finds himself on the wing. And he's dancing his way, but into contact. Australia looking to turn the ball over. Have they succeeded? No. It's hands in the ruck. Unlawfully, says the ref. Off feet, and it will be a penalty to France. So hands were on the floor while not supporting weight, meaning that France will now have a penalty, and it will be Roman Kamak kicking for touch, which he successfully manages to do just outside of the Australian 22. France will have a line-out. Julien Marchand throws the ball in. France win the line-out. It's not called it backwards. No, he says it's not backwards. Or has it been? No, forward by France, and Australia will now have a scrum. Brilliant. Rush defense of Australia, knocking the ball forward out of Maxim Luku's hand, and it will be a scrum to Australia. That is fantastic work from Australia. You know, like It's small moments like that that really have a huge impact in these games. France with an attacking line out there just outside the 22. If they had some go forward, get some momentum, get into the 22, get to the 5 meter line, they could be over and scoring another try. Could be up to 8 points lead, but no. Fantastic rush defense from Australia, making sure that they now get possession on the scrum. France's scrum has been dominant so far in the second half. Will Australia be able to manage that French dominance and get possession back, or keep possession rather? Uh, Ref not happy with that scrum setup, just asking for a reload there. So the scrum is going to be set up once again. It looks like the French bench is warming up now. Look like they're going to do their own French version of a bomb squad coming on soon. The scrum has been set and has been fed by Jake Gordon, who collects it very quickly. Good idea, given how dominant scrum has been with France. Taken into contact by Joseph Suali'i. Crash ball now for Fraser McWright. And now for Rob Valentini. Ball is not out. The French are trying to challenge for it, but the ref says no. Hold your horses, get back. Looks like Jake Gordon's going to set up a kick that is going to be challenged now. Will Max Jorgensen challenge for the ball? He does, but he wins possession back. Rob Valentini now gets the ball. And quick ball for Fraser McWright, but he is brought down very quickly from the French defense. And done so well enough that the ball is now challenged, and France have a penalty, managing to get Fraser McWright to hold on to the ball. Doing to Fraser McWright what McWright does to France. Holding on to the ball, France now have a penalty. So in this game, penalties conceded, pretty much the same. Dominant tackles, pretty much the same. Points on the board, pretty much the same. 1 point in it. Guys, this is a fantastic game of rugby. And Roman Damak successfully kicks the ball out, and we are inside the Australian 22. French line out. Once win their own line out and set up the maul. The maul is not going anywhere though. It's just being driven back, but they've restructured it now with a little bit of go forward, France. Getting some backline players involved in the maul. Now there's some serious go forward for that maul. France going forward, inch by inch. Now throwing to the backline, and it's deep. But now France have lost the ball, but they did have the penalty advantage from the successful maul that they did create. And France, with the penalty advantage, lose the ball and therefore come back for the penalty. And it is probably going to be kicked to touch by Roman Tamak, looking for that 5 meter line out. That is exactly what he is going to do. And he kicks the ball out on the 5 meter line. It will be a French line out. Marchand to feed the line out. France win it. Not challenged by Australia. Trying to counter maul here, which they successfully managed to do. France getting driven back. So they have no choice but to go to the back line. Rush defense from Australia doing very, very well. But the ref is called for another penalty. I think that rush defense was a bit too rushed. Being caught offside are the Australians. And the ref is giving Fraser McWright a warning here, saying, listen, chap, tell your team to wait for the right moment before you rush on your defense. A lot of them were caught offside there, and France will have yet another penalty inside the Australian 22. Big defensive moment now for Australia. Can they hold France off from scoring another try? They're up for the line out on the 5 meter line, kicked out successfully by Ntamak. And France win the line out again. Again, not challenged by Australia. This time the French maul is a lot more successful. They've got some serious go forward here. Can they get all the way to the try line? They can. They do. And he's over. Marchand scores a try for France. 32 points to 26 now France lead. What a fantastic ball from the French. This time, I mean, Australia were not competing in the line out at all in order to counter more. But the French power was just too much for the Australians. Go forward immediately as the maul was formed. And crashing over the try line is Julian Marchand. The maul was just twisted with the momentum being driven there by the French. And without any other option than to allow that try to be scored, Australia just couldn't do anything about that supreme power and go forward that France managed to get. Good try from France. And Tom Hooper has now been given a yellow card for the repeated infringements that Australia have suffered. So not only have they conceded a try, and most likely the conversion as well, Australia are now down to 14 men. Successful conversion from Thomas Ramos. 34-26. France lead Australia. 64 minutes played. Ooh, Australia down to 14 men. Not great for them. Having just conceded as well. Momentum certainly with France now. Trailing by 8 points for Australia with 15 minutes to play in the match. Ref just delaying the kickoff here, making sure Australia do only have 14 on the pitch. And the restart is taken by Tane Edmund deep into the France 22, and Australia get there and bring the player down. It is number 19, Roman Taofifenua for France. Luku kicking the ball deep now into touch successfully. Very, very good kick from inside his own 22 all the way to the halfway line, and it'll be an Australian line out on the halfway line. Let's hear you guys in the chat. Where are you watching from? Do you think that France are going to be able to hold on and win this game? Personally, I did think France would be ahead by a lot more than they are at the moment. But with 15 minutes to play, anything could happen. Are the floodgates going to open? Are France going to go on and score a few more tries and win this convincingly? Or are Australia going to bounce back as they have been doing all game? Marchand is now off after scoring his try. And Australia take the line out. Winning the line out. Can Australia respond again is the burning question here. Rob Valentini into contact. Oh, and Australia have a penalty advantage and the ref blows his whistle. Penalty to Australia. Just inside their own half. Tane Edmund now has the ball. He is certainly going to kick for touch and see how close he can get to that try line. I mean, especially with Australia having a yellow card here, they're going to want to run down the clock as much as possible, but while keeping an eye on the fact that they are 8 points behind. Going to need a score with 14 men, otherwise they have no chance here. Successful kick from Tane Edmund all the way to the France 22. Australia with an attacking line out on the French 22. Oh, Australia feed the line out, and they successfully do so through to the back line immediately. A bit of crash ball now, getting themselves into the France 22. France doing very well to slow the ball down there, though. No quick ruck for Australia. This time it is quick, though. Crash ball for the forwards. Penalty advantage for Australia, sticking their hands in the ruck unlawfully with France, and it's a free play for Australia. Cross kick now from Tane Edmund. Max Jorgensen collects it. Oh, and it's knocked on by number 13 for Australia, Joseph Suali'i. It was greatly contested, caught by, in fact, sorry, that was Harry Potter on the wing there, trying to pop it through to Suali'i, just taking his eye off the ball, dropping it, knocking it forward. But it does not matter as Australia have the penalty advantage. As the snow begins to fall in the Stade de France, snowy nights on a Paris eve, and Australia have a penalty. Tane Edmed, successful kick. It will be a line out to Australia on the 5 meter line. Australia need to score here if they want to stay in this game. Absolutely have to score here. On a snowy Paris evening, can Australia cause an upset? Only 8 points behind with 12 minutes to play. Down to 14 men are Australia, though. They set up the maul. And they keep going, Australia now. 2 meters out from the try line. Can they keep going? Can they score a try here, Australia? Oh no, Rob Valentini knocking it on, and France now have to go forward. France with so much space. Louis Bielbiaré, quick hands. But it is a forward pass from Bielbiaré to Thomas Ramos. The ref directly in line with the player, seeing that forward pass. I mean, even from the camera angle that I'm watching at, I could see that that pass was forward. And Australia will have a scrum. But man, oh man, did they just waste a golden opportunity. Oh, Australia. It's such frustrating rugby, guys. Rob Valentini trying to collect the ball off the quick ruck there. And, oh, Harry Potter might actually be booked, guys. There is going to be a TMO review for this, surely, because the quick pass there from Louis Bielbiaré to Thomas Ramos, as he let go of the ball, Harry Potter was there at the challenge off with the tackle, but there was head contact on the shoulder there. Ref saying no, but there was a wrap and there was mitigation as he was falling down. Anyway, we'll continue with the play. Good call from the ref, and it will be a scrum to Australia. But like I said, they just missed out on a golden opportunity there, did Australia. Really, could have scored a try there, put the deficit back down to 1 point with 10 minutes to play, and who knows what could have happened from there. But the game is not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. The game is only over after 80 minutes, plus whatever additional time there may be in the red. With 8 points behind Australia, they have a scrum. Feeding the scrum now, Australia, getting the ball out very quickly. Crash ball now. Oh, he's found a gap there. Who is that? It's Suali'i. Brilliant work. Now Rob Valentini with the crash ball into the French 22. They go. There are some world-class players in this Wallabies side that are managing to find some gaps here. Now 10 meters up from the try line, Australia. Can they turn this pressure into some fifth phase? Crash ball, the Australian forwards go. But no, they've conceded a penalty again to France. France penalty now. Oh man, Australia. The frustrations continue to pile up. Len Ikitau and Rob Valentini managing to charge their way into the French 22, but they lost possession there, conceding a silly penalty once again, Australia. Oh man. Such a shame. Australia, twice in the last 5 minutes, have found themselves in very good attacking positions, but conceding penalties when it counts. Poor work from Australia. France now taking their line out on the 40-meter line. Oh, a bit of a scrappy ball here, but France keep possession. Oh, and there's a break there from France. And now Louis Bielbiaré with no one in front of him. He's going to go on. He's going to score. That is rugby at its very best, actually. France with the attacking ball from inside their own half. Oh, wow. Louis Bielbiaré. If I've ever seen an almost 10 out of 10 performance, it's from this man tonight. There was a loose ball from them from the line out. There was a huge break there from one of the French players who just passes to Louis Bielbiaré into space, and no one's ever going to catch him there with so much space in the field. And France extend their lead and pretty much put this game to bed. "13 points the gap now with the conversion to come." Calvin Gorges with that gap, with that break there. It was brilliant. We've seen him do it time and time again in the top 14 and bringing it now to the French national team. The conversion is successfully kicked over by Thomas Ramos and France lead 41 points to 26. Australia had a chance. They were within 8 points, or they were within 1 point, then within eight. Now the gap is 15 points. And with 7 minutes to play, I dare say the game has been put to bed and France will win this game. Such a shame. Australia, frustrating. I think Max said it in the comments earlier. One of the most frustrating teams in world rugby. They certainly have the talent, but they just can't put it together and making silly mistakes at crucial times, really costing them this match. Such a shame, Australia. Such a shame. 41 to 26. How did that happen? I mean, sheer class from France, really. This backline attacking play has been stupendously good. And while credit to the French, they do deserve to be ahead by the margin that they are, 15 points ahead with only 6.5 minutes to play. Line out taken by France and lost. Australia get possession now. And they're attacking. Max Jorgensen running it into the French 22. Can Australia finally score a try getting into the 22? Kalani Thomas on debut now taking the ball into contact. Australia keeping possession. Harry Potter now into contact. Good hustling defense from the French, though. But for Australia continue to go forward. They are now on the 5 meter line. 5 meters out of Australia. Can they finally score a try being in this position? They've been there 3 or 4 times in the past 10 minutes, but have not managed to score any time. They go blind. Swali'i looking for some try line fever now, but doesn't get there. 1 meter out now are the Australians. They have a penalty advantage too. Can they get over the whitewash? Ross now, still a meter out to Australia. And it's intercepted by France, but they had the penalty advantage. And I don't think it is Kelvin Bourget who doesn't realize that the whistle was blown. And he's run the whole way across to his try line, thinking he scored a try for France. He's even celebrating, but he's wondering, where are my teammates? Why is no one there with me? And it's because, well, Australia have a penalty. Oh, it was Deportere, excuse me. But yeah, Australia did have the penalty advantage. He didn't know that. How was he supposed to know? It's such a loud environment there in the Stade de France. And he's going to have to run back all the way 100 meters, all the way back to see Australia have their penalty. They're going to tap and go here, Australia. Deporte trudging back incredibly slowly. He's just burned a lot of energy on that sprint, I'm sure. Australia going to have the tap and go penalty on the 5 meter line here. Pick and go, and they're over the line. Who is that has scored? I think that was just far too easy for Australia to score that. The French defense was absolutely nowhere. But Australia are over the whitewash. It is now 41-31. Josh Nasser, number 16, over the line for Australia. 10 points the gap. 4 minutes to play. Can Australia do the unthinkable? Can they make an incredible comeback? Once again, okay, the gap is 8 points now. The conversion is secured by Tane Edmond. 41-33 in favor of France. 8 points again is the gap. Australia need to score twice in 4 minutes. Can they do it, folks? Let me know in the chat. Do Australia have what it takes to make this incredible comeback? Time is back on, and we are going to restart the game. France going to probably kick the ball deep as they do, yes, into the Australian 22. Collected by Australia and into contact after scoring the try goes Josh Nasser. Australia have no choice other than to play from the back now. They're going to have to go coast to coast and score here. But they don't have a lot of time. Kicking it deep now is Jake Gordon. He kicks it out on the full, and it will be a line out to France on the 40-meter line inside the Australian half. And France are definitely just going to want to run the clock down now. Just take crash ball, keep possession, get the points, get the game to a point where Australia can no longer have a chance at even winning. With 8 points to go, Australia do need to score twice to win this game. France setting up the maul. Still going on the maul. Oh, got some great go forward on the maul to France. And now to the back line they go. With some deep depth in play. Louis Bielbiaré passing it now. Ramos gets munched in a tackle. Australia looking to... France did have a penalty advantage though from that maul. They successfully achieved from that line out. And we'll go back for a French penalty. I do think it is well and truly over for the Aussies now. Nicolas Duportere has been nominated as the player of the match for this game, scoring 2 tries, thinking he had scored a hat-trick. I don't know if that's the right call. Louis Bielbiaré for me has been electric. He's been fantastic. But of course, Duportere has scored 2 tries, thanks to the magic of Bielbiaré. But so be it. He has been awarded the man of the match, and France now have a line out on the Australian 5-meter line. And they go on and score a try here and make it a dominant win. Can they make it back to a 15-point margin, France? Setting up the maul. The maul is going sideways, though, from the Australian pressure. But now France gets some go forward. Oh, and they get some real good go forward. Can there be a try now for France? Yes, they can. They have scored once again. And it is now Maxime Lamoth who scores a try. It's been try day for the forwards. Wow, 2 tries from Matt Faisler, a try from Maxime Lamoth. There was a try for Josh Nasser as well. It is the number 2s, all the hookers getting their name on the score sheet today. First international try for Maxime Lamoth. Well done to you, good sir. And if the game wasn't done then, it certainly is done now. France leading 46-33, and the conversion is almost a certainty from this range. 79 minutes played now. It is certain to be 48 points to 33 in favor of France. So, yeah, Ramos has looked to just wait out the clock. But the ref has told him, no, get on with it. We are going to restart. So he's going to convert this try as he does. Yep, 48-33, conversion good. And there will be a restart. But now, can Australia win the ball back? No, they cannot. France going to look to just kick this ball out and end the game. Well, there's still 17 seconds left on the clock, so they're not going to be able to do that yet. But they're looking to just take the crash ball. But can Australia win the ball back and bring some sort of parity to the scoreline? A bit of a consolation try at the end. It would be for Australia to bring it back to an 8-point margin. But France are looking to wait out the clock into the red. And they successfully have managed to do that. The ball is out, kicked out of play. And that is full time at the Stade de France, ladies and gentlemen. France winning this game. 48 points to 33, and it is time for our post-match review. Well, folks, a brilliant game at the Stade de France. France winning the game, 48 points to 33. Australia did come to play, though. I don't think anybody expected such a high-scoring game, such a high-scoring encounter. Indeed, it was. Australia, very good on their attack. France, even better with their class. It was a fantastic game of rugby to watch. Now, looking back at the first half, Australia were dominant with their backline carry. They turned their pressure into points very, very well, with a very good structure and effective quick ruck ball. turning those pressure into points. And at halftime, it was 19 all. Australia really putting the pressure on France. They were dominant in the carries, they were dominant in the tackles, they were dominant in the meters made. However, France did very well. It was a bit haphazard from the French, and they were struggling to get their territory and possession, but they did very well to stay in the game and keep it at 19 all. Excuse me. Yeah, they showed good grit and good mentality to go toe for toe with the Australians to make sure that they were level at halftime. But now in the second half, yeah, look, the French were just a different beast, a different animal. They came out charging, getting many, many penalties in their favor, and France showing that their forward dominance was paid off very, very well. So, yeah, France's home record is, well, not exactly a record, but they are very strong at home at the Stade de France, and they get yet another win there. And well, the French dominance in the second half was just clear from their forward pack. Um, the French strength, their scrums, they won a few penalties from the scrums, and it was just too much for the Australian forwards. We could see that the Australian forwards did get a little bit tired, and they had to make a few substitutions, I think a bit late, because the French did manage to score a try due to a few forward errors caused by the Australians. And had those changes been made a little bit earlier, I think it could have swung the momentum in the game back in Australia's favor. However, that was not to be. Looking now at the French backs, Louis Bielbiaré and Nicolas Deporter, who was indeed man of the match. Those two were sensational tonight. Truly brilliant rugby from them. Louis Bielbiaré, he's been nominated as for World Rugby Player of the Year for very, very good reason, because he's just a world-class player, managing to find gaps, find space, putting his own teammates into space. The way that he managed to draw defenders and sacrificing himself into heavy tackles, but passing the ball at the very last second to put Deporter twice through to score tries, and scoring a try of his own with magical brilliance. Really put France on the front foot to win this game, 48 points to 33. 15-point margin. The way Australia played, I didn't think that it should be that big. Australia really did do well in their defense, and well, not so well in their defense as much as they would have wished to. I think their biggest issue was just conceding penalties, and with the boots of Thomas Ramos, Damien Penaud, Louis Bielbiaré managing to, and Roman Tamak, of course, managing to just get that territorial gain advantage as they always do. It's such a dangerous thing from France, and Australia just fell into that trap, slipping up and managing to let France into the game like that. So, folks, there we have it. It is 48 points to 33 in favor of France at the Stade de France. Australia looking to come back after a big loss to Ireland last week, not managing to do so, but there are some positives to take away from Australia. However, their inconsistency continues to show. Unfortunately for them, they could not get over the line tonight. And for France, winning this game quite well in the end, a dominant second half performance from the French. Ladies and gents, this game ends 48 points to 33 in favor of France. Congratulations to the French, a brilliant way for them to end off their Autumn Nation series this year. And well, we'll be back with international rugby next weekend. It will be the Springboks playing against Wales. But for tonight, that is all she wrote. France winning this game, 48-33. Thank you and good night.